Hello guys, welcome back. And we're back again for a deck tech, which quite a while since we did one, but the hectic schedule has caught up with us, and we think that the aftermath or the March of the Machines aftermath has not yet completely excited some of the deck decks, or let's say some of the current deck decks that we have in the standard format. And for today's feature, we're going to check on again a user submitted deck. Now that we had some cards that's probably left the format because of the recent standard banning announcement, and so we would still expect that the format would still be healthy with all of these new additions, or they can say that will have some new decks or archetypes that we will see in this format. And so we have this feature deck. We call this one the mono green artifact counters. Another user submitted deck for MTG Goldfish, and as you can see here, it's quite that of the similar value with a previous one of our previous deck tech videos. But for today, we're just going to dissect this one. We're going go monocolored with green to explore this list. So we have 3 artifacts, that is the 3 non-creature artifacts. We have 27 creatures, which are mostly that of the artifact creatures. You can see some familiar cards here. We have 3 enchantments, 3 for lands, and 3 sorceries. And for the creature choices, as we know that we are going wide with how counters are placed these artifacts and getting the benefit out of it, we have this lineup aligned first with that of the Osolith, the Shattered Spire. So this is a total cost legendary artifact that gains you more or additional +1 counters whenever you put one or more +1 counters on an artifact or creature control. And also, it has the option also to activate this to put a counter on target artifact or creature you control. Now, with this lineup in this deck, along with starts more of like a utility card here with the Might Stone and the Wick Stone, in which you can have a spirit removal, adding mana, or drawing 2 cards. And with that, we have this creature lineup in the first, let's say the 1-drop first, with Iron Apprentice. There's 4 copies. Enters the battlefield with a +1 counter. When it dies, it had counters on it, puts counters on target creature control. So in a way, you can place out more counters of this creature. At the same time, with Ocelot in play, you will get additional counters placed on this. So it will become a 1 to cast 2/2. That is a 1 to cast with 2 +1 counters added. So 4 copies of this in the deck. Next, we also have the 2 copies of Automated Artificer. This is just probably just a 2-drop to fill out the curve in this deck. It is just a 2 cost 1/3 that you can add colorless mana, spend this mana only to activate activability or casting an artifact spell, which the deck is mostly composed of those. Then we have 4 copies of Patchwork Automaton, the same function. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you place a counter on it. And the more counters added with Ocelot in play, the more it becomes bigger, and also has a ward ability that would be usually difficult for opponents to deal with spot removals. Now we have also the 4 copies of the deck. This card is from the March of the Machines, the Kami Wizard of Hopes. It has also a ability that is similar to that of the Ozolith. It's expect that also it would have this option that you can add mana of any one color, where X is the power of the Kami Wizard of Hopes creature. And with that of the 4 copies in the deck, we make sure that you can curve out well from that of the 1-drop Iron Apprentice, Automated Advisor, or Patchwork Automaton, and then Kami, and then later on adding more counters on our other creatures that would benefit more in this card. Now we also have 2 copies of Kaodam of the Westry. This is from Neon Dynasty card, in which this ability that gives out trample to modified creatures you control. So this is not only 3/3, but also benefit of a passive ability that whenever they deal combat damage to the player, may search library for a basic land and put it on the battlefield top. So more of a ramp bonus, at the same time giving them trample. It's very much making them more combat efficient by having to overcome jump blocks or any other small blockers that can be held out by your trampler ability. Now we also have 2 copies of the Transpider. This is from Brothers War. It costs 2 for which, and as a battlefield, you'll create a top Power Stone token. Then it has a bonus, so pay 7. Look at the top 4 cards in the library and will reveal an artifact card among them and put it in your hand. So that's also good mana sink in the late game. It also goes with the curve of a 3-drop in a 2/4 with that 2/4 body on that set. Then that with the 4-drop, we have 2 copies of Towashi Guidebook. guidebot. It's just like adding counter to putting counter to creature control. But again, with these two cards in play, the Kami or the Ozolith, it makes it more efficient by adding additional +1/+1 counters. And then you would have this ability to draw you a card, and this would cost 1 less for each modified creatures you control. So those creatures you control that as added with counters probably would make this one less in activation. At the same time, it is a construct body with the way if you needed to attack, then you can have this option also. Next, we also have the 5-drop. This is also 4 copies. Still like exemplar. It's a 4/4 trampler, but it has bonus that when there's a battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it, unless 2 or more colors mana were spent to cast it. So with the metal green or the colorless setup, it making sure that it becomes a 5 to cast 6/6 or 5 to cast 7/7 if there are Solids again or Kami in play. So making it more efficient attacker and creature in this lineup. Now for that, we have also just like an 8 mana cost in the deck, but this would cost 1 less for each of the modified creatures you control. It is an 8/8 walking skyscraper with a trampler ability and a hexproof as long as it's untapped. So modified creatures in the deck is mostly work out well, in which at the least you can make this one 5 to cast or 6 to cast in the process. It will still depend on the setup, and that overall is your creature lineup that totals to 27. But we have also 3 enchantments in play. You can use this is Roaring Earth. Whenever a land enters a battlefield you control, put a counter on the creature or vehicle you control. So this goes well also with that ability of Kodama the West 3, wherein whenever it deals damage, they will trigger to search a land, and those land enters a battlefield, you get a +1/+1 counter. So that's also a good synergy in the setup. You also have the option to channel this one for green X. Discard Roaring Earth, you will put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control or target land. It becomes a 0/0 green spirit creature with haste. So in that situations, in order to need additional attackers, you can just channel this enchantment to have this one place +1/+1 counter on a land you control to make it a creature, of course. Now, what does the list is our sorcery for our non-land lineup is the Carnivore's Canopy. This is looking to be like just a utility sorcery spell with destroying artifact enchantments and creature with flying. And it has a bonus of that when a permanent mana value is 3 or less, you will get to proliferate, which means you can proliferate all your counters placed on your creatures, making them bigger and better attackers in the process. Last but not the least are lands. These are just composed of 4 copies of Pixel Grotto. That's a bonus Cry 1, and adding colorless Fall Field of Ruins to mess up 3-color decks and other shenanigans such as Plaza of Heroes or that of can destroy them to get them and turn them into basic lands. And we have 13 forests in the lineup and 3 copies of Holtag Scene, wherein you have also an option to create a tap Power Stone token. In this deck, I might consider having Mirex, but since Pixel Grotto can be upgraded to that, but I think the Scry one would also be very important, especially for the mono green aggro setup, wherein you need to make your draws better so that your curve early on your early turns would be really efficient and consistent in a way that you can have a explosive start and the spin off opponents with your attacks. And last but not the least, since this is just mono red, you can just probably just notice here just all of the green casting costs and just the producers will not really matter here, but average mana value with just an average of 3.22. That means goes between 3 drops and 4 drop in the setup to have the more efficient curve in the deck in order for you to be more aggressive and also having a good mid-range mid-game, to late game scenario. And last but not the least, your Decklists, we only have Power Stone token on this one, but I think with that of the sideboard setup, I think we can have more color specific housers in the deck, and also I think we can have a more of a splash on this. Maybe we can splash for counter spells or black for discard spells in the setup. And I guess that's about it for this deck. This is a mono green artifact hunters deck provided from MTG Goldfish. If you like this content, just let me know in the comments below if you've checked or you want to try this setup. I'll post the link of the deck list, also the other info provided from the site for you guys to enjoy, and also if you want to copy this in your MTG or MTG Arena account to try out and playtest. That's about it, guys. Thank you for checking this one, and see you in the next video.